up. That's
right.
the way I'm going to spin it.
Absolutely.
Life is good.
And so it's been, it's the last weekend of summer, as we mentioned, some celebration, but also remembrance this weekend. Going into the weekend, remember Aretha Franklin's funeral. We talked about that. And John McCain, a celebration of his life, his legacy all weekend, remembering Senator McCain, his family, colleagues, even political opponents, paying their final respects.
A moving tribute to the maverick of the Senate at Washington's National Cathedral.
Our own Garrett Tenney is live in Washington, looking ahead to McCain's final farewell. Garrett, good morning.
Hey, good morning, y'all. Today, Senator John McCain will be laid to rest at a place very close to his heart, his alma mater, the U.S. Naval Academy. Now, this will be a private ceremony with his family and friends, and following that ceremony, McCain will be buried next to his best friend from the Academy, Admiral Chuck Larson. Now, this comes after several days of moving tributes for the late senator. On Saturday, his casket left the U.S. Capitol for the National Cathedral, but it stopped along the way at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, where his wife, Cindy, laid a wreath. Now, at the funeral service, his daughter, Meghan McCain, paid tribute to her father's life of service.
Like so many other heroes, you leave us draped in the flag you loved. You defended it, you sacrificed it, you have always honored it.
While President Trump did not attend the funeral, his predecessors did. And along with Meghan McCain, there were several remarks that many interpreted as subtle and not so subtle shots at the current commander-in-chief.
So much of our politics, our public life, our public discourse can seem small and mean and petty. John called on us to be bigger than that.
Perhaps above all, John detested the abuse of power, could not abide bigots and swaggering despots.
The America of John McCain has no need to be made great again because America was always great.
Now, President Trump was playing golf at Trump National during the funeral, but yesterday evening he tweeted about trade in the FBI and posted what some viewed as a response, writing in all caps, "Make America Great Again." So this rivalry, even in death, continues. Back to y'all.
All right, Garrett.
Wow. It was an emotional funeral. I mean, you can understand how Meghan, clearly had a lot of emotion. You felt like at points she was feeling angry, and understandable given some of the harsh words that were said about her father during the campaign. But others tried to take shots as well. Here's one from Jeff Flake, Senator Jeff Flake. He tweeted out
this photo.
Ask decency wins, and he took a picture there of George Bush and the Obamas.
I don't mean to make light of it, but you take a picture with Bill Clinton, usually decency wins is the caption. Just saying. Listen, there was a lot of fitting things to be said about Senator McCain. I have a lot of reverence for him. I appreciate a grieving daughter, a grieving family. Like, all of that is legitimate. So you look at it with that sympathy when you watch it. At the same time, no one changes their political view based on, I think, speeches and eulogies. If you're shamed into saying, how dare you support someone like Donald Trump or his views because John McCain was the standard bearer of goodness. John McCain was a good man who did a lot of great things for this country. We can also be in a different chapter where different tools and different leaders can take the mantle and carry forward what America represents. And I think that's the dissidence that existed yesterday.
And it's curious, this just seems odd that Jeff Flake feels like a funeral is a place for winners and losers. That somehow he believes these are the winners and there's a loser somewhere else. And I also am struck by the idea that people like Jeff Flake, Barack Obama, want to tell us that the funeral yesterday was all about unity. But they didn't invite President Trump, they didn't invite Sarah Palin, and they decided to take some shots. So is that really the right place for that? I think it was the place to celebrate John McCain's awesome life, awesome legacy, and I was struck also by Barack Obama spending a lot of time in this eulogy talking about himself. Talking about John and I both felt like America is the indispensable nation, and John and I and what we think and thought. It's about the man who passed away. It's about his awesome life and legacy, not about yourself.
I'll just quick add. I admire his service to the country. I also admire his pro-life record. I'm sure a lot of the elites that were gleeful at some of the shots taken at President Trump don't want to remember that record of John McCain, which was
he will be buried
well.
today at his beloved Annapolis at the Naval Academy, where he obviously graduated from, and so a wonderful and appropriate tribute for him today. Let us know what you think about his life and legacy, friends.
But while this was all happening, you sent me an article.